The military operation against Taliban has finally begun. Bunair is trembling from the loud bangs of latest artillery and gunship choppers. Even the Army, Frontier Corps and Police United have not been able to eliminate the Taliban resistance. 80 Talib militants have been shot down, but a few innocent civilians have also paid with their lives. The operation has forced people to move to safer areas, leaving their houses and belongings behind. Camps for displaced people in Mardan have a lot of families consisting only of women and children. Life in a strange city without male members may be safer than Bunair, but definitely not easy. These people have never seen food shortages back home, but here, even the most basic of needs, clean drinking water, is difficult to acquire. Due to the military operation in Bunair, more than 146 families have taken refuge in the Sikh temple near Hassan Abdal. These people are also seeking refuge from Taliban, who have asked them to pay money for protection. Government has pledged 10,000 per family for them. In this sacred temple, the only thing they seem to be praying for is for conditions to normalize. Government suspects that Taliban and local extremists can enter Mardan and Sawabi camps in the guise of internally displaced people. Locals fear the presence of militants and extremists in IDP convoys. They have not seen any law enforcement agencies after the military operation. According to locals, a few recent events prove the existence of remnants of Taliban in the camps. Locals say that the military operation in the region without effective screening process of IDPs is utterly futile. Technically, my job doesn't entail reporting, but there's always more news than people to cover it, and spillovers are mine to cater. A glimpse at the work that gets pushed my way. To the United States, European Union has also made the aid conditional to imposition of more taxes. Taxation is normally considered a domestic matter, and such a demand would ordinarily be termed as interference. But Pakistan's situation is perhaps extraordinary, and thus the EU's demand has not offended the political bigwigs.
वो हक बजानिब है कि आप दुनिया में टैक्सेशन निज़ाम में चले जाएं। जब तक टैक्स के निज़ाम में नहीं जाओगे, कब तक कचकोल और कर्जे पर मुल्क को चलाओगे?
एक्सपर्ट्स को बिठाएं, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी की लीडरशिप को बिठाएं और अपना जो निज़ाम है, इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम है सारा, सिर्फ टैक्स ही नहीं, सारा इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम जो है उसको रिव्यू करें.
To support the country's failing economy and to help the flood victims, Pakistan has acquired billions of dollars in aid and loans from international monetary agencies. No wonder then the leaks in our own taxation system irritates the donors.
ये बात जब बाहर से आती है तो कानों को अच्छी नहीं लगती, लेकिन एक्चुअली तो ये बात हमें करनी चाहिए थी और इंशाल्लाह ताला आप देखेंगे हम करेंगे. The rich have to start paying and the poor should not be overtaxed.
आप क्यों एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि दूसरी ममालिक के टैक्स पेयर्स आपका बोझ उठाएंगे जब आपके अपने सरमायादार और बड़े-बड़े लोग टैक्स नहीं देते? It is only fair.
Pakistan has one of the lowest tax rates in the whole world. There is no tax on agriculture. The taxation system of property is rife with loopholes. So in effect, the middle and the salaried class pays up for the whole country, while the rich and the powerful enjoy a tax-free heaven. The politicians have long talked of tax reforms.
पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो सबसे ज़रूरत है, जो अरबों रुपए कमा रहे हैं बड़े-बड़े वडेरे जागीरदार सरमायादार, उनके ऊपर टैक्स जो है वो बिल्कुल नहीं, वो जीरो टैक्स देते हैं.
Question is, when all the parties in the government agree that more taxation on the rich is needed, what or who is stopping them? The possibility of imposition of VAT is creating waves in the country. The VAT once again is only going to target the people who already pay a lot of taxes. Sadaf Beg, Dunya News, Islamabad. Ever since Richard Holbrooke landed in Pakistan, all he's getting is a lot of complaints. Some are crying over the screening of Pakistanis at American airports while some lament over increasing drone attacks. Even Holbrook's meeting with the Prime Minister was devoid of the usual smiles and warmth. To add insult to injury, the PM delivered a hard-hitting speech in the National Assembly yesterday.
It is not done. Just because they assist us, they cannot say that we can adopt whatever attitude we like with you. The whole world agrees that this policy is not correct.
Perhaps these constant attacks on American character caused Holbrook to come out with his own inhibitions during a meeting with parliamentarians today in Islamabad. Holbrook complained that Pakistani media and politicians ignore the billions of dollars of American aid and highlight only the negative aspects. He reminded the parliamentarians that Pakistan is constantly asking for American aid and still keeps blaming the US. Needless to say, his complaints did not sit well with the parliamentarians.
Calling us into the consulate and then passing such degradatory remarks does not bode well with America's international diplomacy standards. This is beyond the dignity of humane societies.
आपका तो 1-9-11 हुआ है, हमारा रोज 9-11 हो रहा है। ये आप सोचें कि जो लड़ाई है, उस लड़ाई में हमारा नुकसान कितना है।
However, some saw the truth in Holbrook's remarks.
उन्होंने ये कहा कि जी हम तो पाकिस्तान के लिए बहुत कुछ करना चाहते हैं और करते हैं और हम पाकिस्तान से जो हमारी दोस्ती है हमारे लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है।
Diplomatic decencies aside, Pakistan has to face one bitter truth. As the President proudly reminded us yesterday, he has secured billions of dollars of aid and loans during his foreign visits. अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं कि beggars can't be choosers. And Holbrook's statement is only a bitter reminder of a harsh but true fact. तनवीर अहमद के साथ सदफ बेग, दुनिया न्यूज़, इस्लामाबाद. General David Petraeus has now replaced General McChrystal as the commander of NATO forces in Afghanistan. General Petraeus holds the victory in Iraq to his credit. In his resignation, McChrystal wrote that he wants to see the NATO forces succeeding. Question is, wouldn't a change of command at this point of time affect the forces?
आर्मी का जो जिस तरह को ऑपरेशन कर रहे हैं उसकी ऑफेंसिव पॉलिसी डिफेंसिव पॉलिसी अपनी होती है तो फ़र्क होगा बट बेसिकली अगर वही स्टाफ उसके साथ रहा और ऊपर से पॉलिसी वही रही तो शायद थोड़ा बहुत गुजारा हो जाए.
General McChrystal initiated people-to-people contact as the US prepares to start evacuating. A change in policy would not be very feasible. Thus, it is likely that General Petraeus would also follow the winning the hearts policy.
जो मैक्रिस्टल की बात है वो इनको फॉलो करनी पड़ेगी. पाकिस्तान के लिए जो असली प्रॉब्लम होगा कि जब ये चले जाते हैं तो वैक्यूम होगा और वैक्यूम कौन फिल करेगा? I hope not India.
General McChrystal and Pakistani Army Chief General Ashfaq Parvez Kiani have met numerous times to discuss the situation in Afghanistan. However, experts believe that McChrystal's departure would not create a vacuum between Pakistan and NATO forces. General Petraeus does not only understand the situation in the region, but is also supposed to be very close to General Kiani. Pakistani government believes that the change of NATO command is not a change of policy.
वो सिर्फ अपने नेशनल इंटरेस्ट को देखते हैं और उनके लिए पॉलिसीज ऐसे चेंज नहीं होती कि एक बंदा आया और पॉलिसी चेंज.
मौजूदा हालत में पाकिस्तान है कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा. वो भी अमेरिकी था, ये भी अमेरिकी है, वो भी अपनी पेंटागन की पॉलिसी को फॉलो करेगा.
जंगों के दरमियान अमूमन फौज की Usually the change of command is avoided during ongoing wars. The United States has taken this risk in Afghanistan, but in all probability, General Petraeus would avoid any dramatic changes in the strategy and try his best to start evacuation by 2011. सदफ बेग, दुनिया न्यूज़, इस्लामाबाद. हुकूमत और अदलिया के रूबरू होने का वक्त Time has come for the government and the judiciary to come face to face. The government does keep declaring that the court's decisions are honorable, but instead of following them, all it has given so far are excuses and delaying tactics. Orders to reopen Swiss cases has been the bane of various officials of the Law Ministry. The first casualty of this decision was Attorney General Anwar Mansour, who resigned, protesting over the Law Minister's behavior regarding this order.
मेरे डिफरेंसेस कानून और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पे होते हैं। अगर वो ये कहते हैं कि ओवर माय डेड बॉडी ये खत लिखा जाएगा तो मेरा डिफरेंस हो जाएगा उनसे।
Senior Joint Secretary of Law Ministry Anwar Khan Achakzai preferred resigning to facing the courts, and then Secretary Law Aqil Mirza had to sacrifice his job. Before he resigned, Aqil Mirza conveyed the government's message, saying that the government deems the Swiss case issue to be a past and closed transaction. This straightforward refusal to comply with court's orders and the messenger's abrupt departure took its toll. And now the law minister has been called to the court. Babar Awan has openly said that the documentary evidence against the president would only be sent back to Geneva over his dead body.